And the Spokester search continues. Another interviewee in the hot seat. Looks like we have Allie here. Allie, hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you. All right, so Allie, nice to see you. You have green eyes.
They're contacts, though. They're contacts.
I love it. They're bright. I was like intrigued right away. I got sucked in. All right, Allie, this is me and you. We're just hanging out, having some fun. And I was wondering, tell me about your background. Who are you?
Well, I am from Huntington, Indiana. I moved to Fort Wayne in October after finishing my undergraduate at IPFW. I got a degree in English Literature and Writing. I'm now working full-time at a used bookstore. And, yeah, I'm just having fun living in Fort Wayne. Haven't really lived in a big city before. I did study abroad last year for 10 months in Canterbury, England, and that was a lot of fun. So I think I've brought a lot of that back with me and just enjoying everything the city has to offer.
Did you get to drive down the wrong side of the road?
I drove in a parking lot. I was scared to leave anywhere else. Yeah.
I think it would be a little bit intimidating, actually. So you said that you worked at a used bookstore. Do you like to read?
Absolutely. And the degree in English literature kind of had me at a point where I thought I was done reading forever, but I got back into it when I started at the bookstore. Definitely starting a lot more reading or finishing a lot less. There's just so much out there, so.
So I don't read a lot, I have to be honest. What would be like a good book or a good series for somebody that doesn't read a lot to start off with?
Yeah. I think you'd enjoy short stories, which is, yeah, an extremely popular genre. I think it's really making a comeback. Maybe some Kurt Vonnegut. I don't know if you're into that older kind of stuff. Or there's Miranda July, who I think is an up-and-coming. She's short story, really quirky, really fun. She's also made some movies as well, so you could always read her and then go watch it.
That's cool. Do you like to do that? I know some people that read a lot are very passionate. Like, I can't watch the movie until I've read through the book.
Yeah, fortunately with that particular author, I like her because she directs the movies and she doesn't do anything based on her books. Everything is totally separate. But yeah, I'm always a huge fan of the books over the movies, I think. And I have to read the book before I see it.
What type of movies do you like?
I really like horror movies, but I have not found one that's actually scared me yet. So if anyone has suggestions, I'm always out looking for those. I think other than that, classic films. There's the theater downtown, the Cinema Center, that I've enjoyed some that they've been showing for a class this summer. So I'm just kind of all over the place, I guess. Yeah, I don't go to actual theaters very often. I like to wait until I can watch them in the comfort of my own home, but...
That's awesome. Yeah, I actually had a class at the Cinema Center during the summer. It might have been that same class. I thought it was so cool, though. I was like, I'm in class. I'm at the movie theater. This is awesome.
I'm kind of bummed that I missed that. I missed that boat.
Right on. Well, Allie, what do you see as your plans for the future, ideally?
Yeah, I definitely want to get my master's or PhD in English literature, writing, and I would like to teach at the university level. I'm not sure where I want to teach, but being abroad was a lot of fun, and I think I'd like to go back to school there at some point down the road.
Excellent. Now, if you travel, will you go back to England, or are you thinking about a different country?
I think England, its proximity to everything else was so great. It was a 2-hour flight into Spain, into Italy. I was in Ireland within an hour. And it's just so cheap to travel over there as well. I feel like I did a lot more of it there than here just because I'm saving up to do those things here, but there it was just really easily accessible. Public transport was great and people were great, so I think I'd like to spend a few more years over there.
Excellent. Yeah, a lot of differences probably, I'm assuming, from the culture around here, I'm sure. What are some of the things that you do like or see as positive attributes for Fort Wayne?
Oh, I was a little concerned moving up because I feel like you get that a lot. There's nothing to do in Fort Wayne. I want to get out of Fort Wayne, but living here has been incredible. Downtown, there's always something going on. A group of us will get together and not have any clue what we're doing, and we can walk downtown and find something. There are lots of live local bands that I really enjoy and support now. All the local tea and coffee shops have been really great. There are always events at the schools. We've got plenty of schools to choose from as well. I just feel like everybody's really well connected. There is community here. If you go out and find it, it is a great place to live.
Allie, what characteristics make you perfect for the Spokester position?
I think I'm really relatable to everyone, even outside of that 18 to 25 age group. I think I can easily communicate, put into words the things I find out and learn and need to give back to that age group that we're trying to focus on. I think I'm really laid back. I think I'm open-minded, and yeah, I think that I can connect with the people that I need to connect with and get them the information they need to be living young and free.
Great. Yeah. How would you convey that information? Like, for example, like social networking, is that really big with you? When you get on the internet, what's like a typical thing do you do? Are you on Facebook, Twitter? You know, what's cool for you?
Yeah, I usually have a morning routine where I do read the news and everything, but it's Facebook first, email second, Twitter next, and I have to be updated. I feel like I'm constantly tweeting, whether it's just a photo, hey, I'm here doing this, or I'm with this person. Because again, that's building community. It's getting people out there if they're not doing anything. Yeah, and blogging has been a huge thing for me. My entire time abroad, through school, everything, I've been an avid blogger. Really into making videos lately, and photography's always been huge. I do that on the side as well. So
awesome. Okay, cool. Well, obviously, you know, Three Rivers Federal Credit Union, dealing with finances and stuff. What sort of financial mistakes do you see people around your age making?
I think the biggest one, and this is coming from working at a used bookstore, I've seen a lot of just impulse buying, quick spending. I see it now at this price, I need it now. I think there's so many options out there now. Couponing is huge. I mentioned Groupon to a lot of people today. And just going and seeing the used things that are still in perfect condition, or waiting to get a deal a few weeks later, however long it takes. You can save money that way. Yeah, I think that's the biggest blunder that people are making, is just needing it right there and then at the set price, and you can save lots and lots of money doing your research.
Excellent. Be an educated, conscientious shopper. That's a hard word for me to say, conscientious. All right, awesome. This is where I get to hand over the microphone to you, and you can ask me whatever you want.
Okay. All right. What is the favorite part of the position that you're in right now?
Well, you know, being a radio DJ, it's a lot of fun. There's so many different aspects I like about what I get to do. You know, obviously there's that generic answer, oh, I love meeting people, it's so awesome. But I think one of the coolest things I get to do is go to work in my pajamas. Because I'm in a studio where I talk to people, but they don't see me. So especially having to work early, it's nice to be able to roll out of bed and just flop into the studio.
Yeah, that's awesome. I wish I could do that. What, if you think about it, are some of the financial mistakes that maybe you've made recently?
Well, you know, I try to be really careful with my finances. That's me. I try to be a big saver. But I feel like I've come into that point in my life where I'm forced to make some of those more responsible, big decisions, like, you know, purchases like a car, house, different things like that. And it can be tough. It can be tricky, you know. And with those constant purchases, it's just budgeting is so key. And like you said, being educated with your decisions really does help out. We're good. Keep going.
Oh, if you had one piece of advice for people who are coming out of college, coming out of high school, one or the other, not even in terms of finances, but in getting a job or just stepping out into the real world, do you have one significant piece of advice for them?
Yeah, well, you know, like something that I learned, and I was fortunate to have learned, I know for me, like my major, for example, was a pretty generic major. It's communication, media, and public broadcasting, and I'm definitely interested in it. But I think that there's a lot of people that have a hard time actually finding a role in the workforce with that particular degree. Now, one thing I would recommend to people while they're still in college is, you know, to find what they want to do, and they need to actively seek it out and go for it. I worked non-paying internships. I worked 3 jobs. I did a lot of different things to try to get my foot in the door, to try to get that position, and to be really humble and to really want it. That's the biggest part. If you show that devotion and that work ethic, that's going to have positive results for your future.
Very true. What do you think it takes? I know that in a way you're kind of a spokester. You're on the radio, you're getting the community involved, people talking. What do you think it takes to be a good spokester, to be an effective spokester for something like this?
You know, Obviously, I think that your people skills are super important, you know. I always admire those people that are just so happy to be around people all the time and so thankful to have conversation with people and can just strike up a conversation with anyone. I struggle with that, you know. Like, there are days when I'm in a bad mood. And, you know, I think that I really admire those charismatic, friendly people that are always just warm and can really communicate well. And I think that if you were doing a job where you're out with the community and you're trying to reach people, that would be a real asset.
Mm-hmm. What are your favorite parts of the Fort Wayne community? What would you say makes it unique to anywhere else you've been?
You know, we're going to have to wrap it up with this question, but I like Fort Wayne a lot, and I like that I get a city feel in a very safe environment that I can drive through. I can check out the whole city and do a lot of different things, but I still feel like there's a really cool community there. Awesome. Thanks, Allie.
Thanks.
Cool.